Traditionally, tandem was used on a cart that was too heavy for one horse, but the streets weren't wide enough for two. So you'd hook one ahead of the other. It takes considerably more skill to drive a tandem than it does a single horse on a cart. These are where the lever bits come into effect. We use them to keep the line pressures light or heavy, depending on where the horse is. When you're driving a tandem, you want your lead horse to be as heavy as possible on the line so that you can have the greatest amount of control when you're turning and stop. You want your wheel horse to be as light as possible on the line so he never runs up on your lead horse. So we'll shank our wheel horse down, feeds up on our line pressure, and we'll put our lead horse up in the bar to make sure he's heavy. As far as hooking him, there's several different methods. Whichever one you choose, make it strong. These are large animals. Even in show ring, if it gets to be a heavy pull, they can exert a lot of force and break it. So they extend our tugs back far enough to attach to our cart. We use a good heavy tug chain with a good heavy rated safety snap on each end. You'll need extra line carriers on your lead horse as well as your wheel horse. On the back of our lead horse, we want good heavy line carriers so our lines can't get ripped down, caught underneath the tail. But on our wheel horse, we need extra line carriers on the bridle, on the hames, and at the back as well, so our lines don't get tangled up. Nothing more frightening to watch than a tandem hitch tangled up. Okay? We'll bring them up and start hitching them. Same as with a single horse. You want to plant your horse in front of your shafts, square them up. You want to get your lines down so you have your measure of control. So you're safe, you have control of your animal. You want to pick your shafts up. Be careful not to poke your animal. Lift it up high. Roll your cart up. So you're in the position. Lower them down. And slide it through the shaft loops. You done? Your next step is you want to do up your quarter straps or your holdbacks. Then your tugs. Just put it right over your shaft. This is a good opportunity now to take a moment, make sure everything's adjusted properly and fit and nice, make sure your lines aren't tangled. Good. Need our chains. There's 2 or 3 places you can attach these. A lot of them attach them right on the breast strap, snap ring in the front. We find that a little objectionable because it's a little too high. What we like to do is we attach them underneath the shaft, and that allows us to have a good length. It's a little stronger, keeps our line of graft lower so our lead horses' tugs don't get too high and make them uncomfortable. When you've got them all hooked, when you got them all hooked up, take a moment, check it, make sure that Then bring your lead horse up, square them off. Good. Make sure your lead lines are threaded through. You want your lines hooked up before you hook anything else up. Bigger hitches. Your wheel line always goes underneath, and your lead line always goes on top. Always. Your leader will be the one that you adjust your lines more for. So it's more prevalent that you have their lines the easiest to access. There's 3 or 4 real common ways of holding the lines. You put your wheeler underneath your little finger. You can take your next one over top of your little finger and over your thumb. Tug with your next. Or you can take them and put your lead line underneath your first finger. Put your wheel line underneath your little finger. Squeeze down and you have it again. The most least favored one is this. The reason for it is you barely got a grip on your line. If you have a horse stumble, there's a good chance you can pull a line out of your hand. Good time again, double check, make sure your lines are all hooked up proper. Make sure you have the slack on them all. Have your assistants. Make sure they hold the animal steady until you're ready to mount. Need a vinyl line blocks for a couple of reasons. One is they're about 5 times the tensile strength of leather, and they come in seamless rolls of 100 feet, so you can have a span as long as you like. Okay, turn loose. All right, bye. You want to keep your lead horse in line with your wheel horse, and wheel horse in line with your lead horse. It's a much more challenging hitch to drive, but a lot of fun. You want to keep your leaders tucked, kind of snugged up so they don't flop around. All right, son, let's walk. Step on, son. You will be asked to trot, so it's well ahead advice to practice before you get in the arena. You want to square off, head straight, heads up. Tongue nice and snug on both ankles. You're going to be asked to corner. So you take a little lead line, you ask them to come around. That's the easy corner. When you come across the right diagonal, you'll have to turn back to your right. So you want to kind of head back so you're not tight in the corner. Take a little of your lead line, ask them to come around. If you're first learning how to drive this one and things get kind of tangled up, pull back on your wheeler and your leader will tighten up. And then you can straighten your lines from there. It's just subtle adjustments. Half inch on a line will make that horse come about 10 feet. Take about a half inch, give a little pull. So if you think you're way out back with your lines, don't take too much, just small adjustments until you get it lined up, square, and straight through. Take as much care when you unhook your animals as you do when you're hooking. Have your assistance. Catch it, hang on to it. You want to take extra care when you come to town to show your animals. They might stand well and hold, but when they come to town, things are going to be nervous and bouncing around. And not everybody that comes to watch the show is a horseman. So if you have an animal